Hello, this is Dr. Jason Munsell. I hope this will work out. My iPad is being funky and stops recording, and so I'm actually using my iPhone here, and so I don't know how that's going to change anything. We'll see. But I'm very small. But I always pledge to you that I will do the best that I can. I was cleaning off my desk. I am going to change some things, as I said in the email that I sent you, because of the big debate that's happening tomorrow night between Trump and Clinton. It is the first presidential debate of three. There will be a vice presidential debate between Pence and Kaine at some point. I don't have the entire thing memorized, but again, the first one is tomorrow night. And so I wanted to utilize this opportunity to add some stuff to our class, to say some stuff about the nature of contemporary presidential debates, and then add some stuff from sort of just classical rhetorical theory, and also some stuff on fallacies, which is also part of classical rhetorical theory, that might be useful as you watch and critique what's going on. And I hope that you do watch and critique what's going on tomorrow night. And speaking of watching and critiquing, I sort of looked on YouTube, I did, and some of my lectures don't have a whole lot of views. I'm hoping that you are in fact watching the stuff that I put up. It is class time because this is a hybrid class, so half of it is face-to-face and half of it is this. I fear that you will have a rude awakening if you're not keeping up with stuff, if you're not watching stuff, taking notes. Because that midterm, boy howdy, it's going to be huge. So hopefully you are doing the stuff that you need to be doing and valuing your education. And also I want to remind you to continue to tweet and thread. If you are behind a little bit, I would encourage you to get on the ball. I have a ball. Here's the globe. Turned off. What? Having all sorts of technical difficulties today as the world turns. Okay. What? Okay. So in any case, what I really want to do, you know what I want? What I really, really want? I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. I just want to read Southern Living. I want to learn about colorful container gardens. Our first Southern Beauty Awards. Woohoo! Wonder if I won. Nah. I can't find it. Okay. So, in any case, let's get down to business. Oh, hopefully you read the myth stuff. And there's more stuff about the myth stuff and the metaphor stuff that I should say. Because I do think it will crop up tomorrow night. We shall see. But particularly the stuff on Edelman, that type of stuff about, we blame the out-group for problems and stuff like that. I mean, that's basically, some people's immigration policy. But take a look at that stuff. But let me do the debate stuff. Debate extra. And all of this, by the way, is coming from, Political Campaign Communication. That's that extra book that I was telling you about by Trent, Friedenberg, and Denton, and it is the 8th edition. It's solid gold, and actually it's golden. So, a few things here. I'll try to be brief. What makes a debate? Definitionally, what is a debate? Can you even see that? Well, it's on Casey. There's usually a confrontation between people, hopefully with ideas. Maybe not. I don't know. They generally have equal and adequate time to respond. Do they have adequate time to respond in contemporary presidential politics? No. Do they have equal time? It sort of depends. Time's up, time's up. I don't care. I'm going to keep on talking anyway. Of match contestants. The problem is it's like contestants. Oh, you're the next contestant on the Price is Right, which is amazing how the presidential election is sort of like The Price is Right. Contemporary politics is like The Price is Right. What is that price? It's high. On a stated, that's a typo, on a stated proposition, not a state proposition. Stated proposition. I thought I'd change that. There's going to be lots of propositions. Will they be stated? Like, here is my stance on this issue, and here is the evidence and the arguments? Probably not. We'll see. To gain an audience decision. Yes, ideally, they want the audience to think, oh, yes, I agree more with what Clinton says, or, oh, yes, I agree more with what Trump says, and therefore I'm going to vote for that person or the other person. But is that the way it sort of works? Nah, not really. This is sort of, definitional stuff. So, do we have debates now in presidential political communication or any other political context? Nah, not so much. What we have, some people call counterfeit debates. They're not even real debates. There's often no direct confrontation. Of course, Trump has changed some of that because he likes to name call. Look at his hands. He has made it interesting. But often there's no direct confrontation. That is, they don't go back and forth. Sometimes they do get, can I respond to that, blah, 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 blah. But, usually it's, more of a, here, I ask you a question, here's my little blurb, here's my little sound bite. The other person gets a question, here's my little sound bite. And we don't really get equal or adequate time, again, like 2 minutes or however many minutes they have. You really can't cogently answer any sort of political question. It's all complicated. It's just crazy. It's a big show. It's a reality TV show, and we're all suckers. The debaters are indeed usually equally matched. Are they on one stated proposition? Nah, they try to cover way too much. I mean, sometimes I don't even know what the one tomorrow night's supposed to be on, but usually they have economics, foreign policy, but they're all over the place. They don't really get a decision from the audience per se. It's all spin, all media coverage, and they don't really, it's like who won, who lost, let's do these little polls, blah, 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 horse race, yay, yay, yay. It's all for the ratings. It's all for money. The Price is Right. Come on down. Okay. So, debates are confrontations of ideas where people go back and forth. Presidential debates, sort of, not so much. So, does that mean we shouldn't pay attention? To debate or not debate? Debate. Oftentimes, and we've seen previously that Trump, I think, originally said he wasn't going to do any debating. But, oftentimes the first part are just sort of definitional sort of things, contemporary times sort of things. But this is sort of like if you are a candidate or if you're a political consultant, should you debate or should you not? Is it going to be a close election? Then probably debates. And every presidential election is always a close election. It always gets tight in October, so it's tight. It's really tight. And so if you were way, way ahead, and there's no way in the world you would lose, then why should I debate? Because maybe I'll be exposed for the crook I am. Will I gain stuff by debating? As I just said a second one. Or suffer for not debating? Will I suffer? Will they call me a coward? You're a coward. Or can I just blame media? I'm not going to debate because the media is biased. So that's some stuff to think about. Am I good at it? If I'm not, and all these other things, maybe I shouldn't do it. But if I'm really good at it, and it depends. I mean, what does good mean? A lot of people are good at remembering facts, blah, 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 blah. Some people are good at just putting on a show and offering vagaries. Are there two major candidates or a bunch of wackos? and we got two wackos. No, we got two candidates, but it's not like the. This is different than the primary stuff, particularly the Republican primary, where you had like 30,000 people, all generally saying the same thing. Not really, but yeah. Do I have control over important aspects of the debate situation? Will I have control? And people try to take control, but it depends. And is there an incumbent? No, there isn't one this time. But in any case, some things to think about. Which means, if ever you run for president or anything like that, you probably ought to consider, should I debate or should I not debate? And it's not a given. It never is a given. You shouldn't just automatically say, yes, of course I'm going to debate. I mean, I would think that, yeah, ideally, everybody would debate because it's good for voters to see where you stand on the various issues and to understand the various issues and things like that. But, again, if you're more of a political consultant and you're not really concerned with the citizens and you just want your people to win, then you've got to think about whether I should debate or not. Let's see. One of these things I wanted to do. What did I say? Deciding whether to debate. Is the field clear of incumbents? If either candidate is an incumbent seeking re-election, the probability of debate taking place is reduced. Sometimes, if there is an incumbent, and you know that incumbent's going to win. But in any case, a lot of different things to think about here. Pre-debate strategies. There are strategies before the actual debate, and we've seen this in the news. Lower expectations. I'm not really good at this. I'm just a regular guy. The media is going to be all over me. I suck at debates. I'm for the people. So even if I do poorly, you know that lower expectations. Don't have high expectations for me. You know, that way when I suck, you'll understand that. Okay, whatever. So folks like to lower expectations. I suspect that expectations are pretty low for Trump and expectations are pretty high for Clinton, which might be very problematic for Clinton if they actually both seem like they're okay. I think Trump will probably, if he doesn't do something crazy, people will probably go, wow, yeah, he can stand toe to toe with Clinton. It'd be really interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. But we have seen for the lowering of expectations. There's lots of news out there to talk about how Trump's preparation. Apparently, he's not even preparing all that much. He's not too concerned about the details and practicing and stuff like that. And apparently he can't, stand still for that long to practice. So sometimes we lower expectations, and maybe they're doing that all very, very strategically because they know that Clinton is very good at this and will probably seem, at least on the surface, to win. I don't know. We'll see what happens. What's the target audience? I want to reach certain folks, right? So obviously I want to reach those folks who have not decided yet, but still I want to make sure that I reinforce the folks who already vote for me. I don't know if it is possible right now. If there's a gung-ho Trump supporter and a gung-ho Clinton supporter, I'm not sure if they're going to switch their minds at this late point. We'll see. But you might see Clinton try to reach out to some Trump folks, but after she called Trump folks deplorable, I sort of doubt it. But, reach the undecided. Who is the undecided? How can I reach them? And also demographics. Who is the largest body of people? I think women. Trump's going to go for the men. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. But I imagine Hillary will talk about being a mother and all that type of stuff. Some of the stuff that we saw from Michelle Obama. But we'll see. Devising and rehearsing possible answers. No kidding. They tend... Again, Trump apparently is not doing this. I don't know. We're not there. But usually you practice, guess what all the questions are going to be, have canned answers, you memorize those answers, so each little answer is like a little TV commercial. So there's really no spontaneity. They probably, a lot of them already sort of practice and have rehearsed zingers.